Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Uncle Mad here. Sunday morning live stream. Like I mentioned last week, I think this is going to be the spot we kind of try to lock the live streams into, at least during football season going forward. Let me just tweet out the link real quick. And we are going to be talking NFL Week 4. Oh, well, my microphone's over here. I just know that. You might not have heard anything I said. Who knows? NFL Week 4, we're going to go through all the games, give my thoughts, give my best bet on the spread for each and every game, talk a little bit about Monday Night Football, Titans versus Dolphins, which it's kind of like, it's nice to wake up on a Sunday morning and not have to watch the Titans, to just be able to go through this day. But I do have to watch Manchester United take on Spurs today, so that'll be fun. Probably not. They'll probably find a way to ruin my Sunday since Titans aren't playing and aren't able to. We'll get into the week picks. I'll just go ahead and jump to Monday Night Football, talk about the game. I don't know what to say about the Titans. It hasn't already been said a million times over at this point in time. There's not much of a path to success for this season. 0-3 to start the season. Teams don't come back from that kind of bad start typically. And you can't really see the recipe for what would fix the issues that we're having right now. The offensive line, terrible. In particular, Nicholas Petit-Frere and his backup, Jalen Duncan, is somehow even worse. No moves were made to bring in anybody to potentially replace or supplement that position, so that'll continue to be a problem. Connor in the chat said, "What's up?" Not much. What's up with you, Connor? That's just going to continue to be a problem. Also, we're continuing to see the same issues with Will Levis. So what are you going to do? The hope that we're hanging our hat on for the second week in a row is that we're going against a banged up, injured team on their, I don't know if Snoop Huntley would end up being their backup if he'd been there from the get-go. They had to trade to get him. Their actual backup, Skylar Thompson, is out injured. Tua is out injured. So they are dealing with a lot there. Titans going down there Monday night. We just saw a offensive guru coach in Matt LaFleur tear us apart with a backup quarterback. Chill out, Oli. So I wouldn't be surprised to see another offensive guru in Mike McDonald tear us apart with a backup quarterback. So not feeling very confident, not feeling very good about the Titans right now. Just had a hurricane here in Florida. Yep, seen that, been all over the news. Prayers to, anybody affected. We've been getting the outlying rain and stuff from that as it's made its way up to Tennessee the last couple days. Just all hope for this Titan season has been completely lost, completely crushed. It's funny, Snoop Huntley, who's coming in to be the Dolphins quarterback. It's funny, he's got this forever attached to him moniker of being Pro Bowl quarterback Snoop Huntley, like the ultimate example of like what's gone wrong with the Pro Bowl, that somehow one year we made it all the way down to where he was the best available quarterback to go to a Pro Bowl one season. But who knows? This could be the chance, with two out, maybe his career's over. Maybe this is where the Snoop Huntley, Kurt Warner story begins, and the Titans are the first team that he just carves up, and suddenly next thing you know, he's multi-time Pro Bowl quarterback Snoop Huntley, and just the history books are rewritten. I don't know. I can see that happening just because that's the type of stuff that seems to be going for the Titans this type of season. But the good news about the Titans playing on Monday Night Football is there's a Monday Night Football doubleheader this week. Let's look at it real quick. What's the other game? So it's good because this way, once the Titans game, it's clear that it's just completely unwatchable. Everybody can flip over to the other game, so we're not just like put in the spotlight on national TV. Everybody just has to watch us and see how bad we are. Seahawks Lions. Okay, so that's a much more compelling matchup, much better game. Everybody's going to tune to that one. We kick off at 6:30. They kick off at 7:15. Everybody's flipping the channels as soon as that Seahawks Lions games come on. So that's good news. We're not going to be the sole game on Monday night that everybody's going to be watching, looking at going, oh my God, how are the Titans this bad? Great news on that front. So that's good to know. Oh boy. Ugh. That's just talking Titans. Hey, Vandy didn't play this week. The famous line we always have as Vandy fans when we have a bye week is, hey, we didn't lose this week. So it would have been nice if it could have had a Saturday with no Vandy, somehow a weekend with no United, if it had been like an international break, and the Titans not playing until Monday night. That would have been the perfect weekend, to be honest. But such is life. We didn't get what we wanted. I don't want to talk about the Titans much anymore. There's only so much you can say at this point in time. So let's get into the bigger picture NFL. I've got my power rankings here for the week, everybody's favorite part of the week. Starting off at the top of the table remains the Chiefs, although I do still maintain I think the Bills have been the most impressive team, but just by principle, I can't drop down the Chiefs till something happens, till they lose. Just stay kings type thing. Bills, I've got second. Vikings, I've got all the way up to third. That feels a little crazy because it just feels like they have to come back down to earth at some point in time, but they've unquestionably been, one of the most impressive teams this season. Packers beat the crap out of us, embarrassed us, decimated us, humiliated us. Malik Willis reclamation project. I've got them at fourth. I've got the Lions at fifth. So that's weird. I've got 3 straight NFC North teams in a row. That's a little bit weird on my part. Seahawks at sixth, Texans seventh. Maybe could have dropped them a little bit more after that, kind of embarrassment against the Vikings, but I still think, they're solid. They should be pretty good. They'll bounce back. Although a lot of people are like weirdly kind of thinking they might be in trouble today against the Jaguars. We'll see. We'll get into that game as we go down the previews of each game. I got Steelers 8th, Cardinals 9th, Ravens 10th, Bucks 11th, 49ers 12th, Eagles 13th, Jets 14th, Saints 15th, Rams 16th, Commanders 17th, Cowboys 18th, Chargers 19th, Falcons 20th, Bengals, what's going on there? Down to 21st, Pats at 22nd, Colts 23rd, Broncos 24th, Browns 25th, Jaguars 26th, Giants 27th. You might be able to see where this is going. Bears at 28th, Panthers 29th, Dolphins 30th, Raiders 31st. And I think this may be the first time I've ever done this in my brief history of making power rankings. I have the Titans dead last at 32nd. I don't know how you could do anything else at this point in time because, the Bengals are winless, but you can see, they've got Joe Burrow, they got Jamar Chase. You can see a path for them getting right. Ravens, did they get a win? They're 0-3 too, right? No. Huh? No, they won last week. Did they? I think it's just us, the Bengals and the Jaguars are the only winless teams. And you definitely can see more hope for the Jaguars and the Bengals than I think you can for the Titans right now. So we have to be last. Even the lowly Panthers made a quarterback change and just whooped the Raiders. That was a crazy game. I think I even said that was a game to watch and then just went the other way on the picks. All right, let's get into it. Game by game, best bets, picks for each and every game on the NFL Week 4 slate, courtesy of DraftKings Sportsbook and Casino. Not a sponsor, just the one that I happen to pull up every week when I'm going to look at the games and see what we're going to pick. Going down the list, we start out Bengals, Panthers. This is, Andy Dalton revenge game. At Carolina, was that just like a new QB bounce? Can Cincinnati get right here? They're a 5-point favorite. It's unbelievable. It tells you the state of the Panthers. The Bengals are 0-3, and they're going to be a 5-point favorite over the Panthers. Feels disgusting. Feels like there's no way you should ever take this, but until the Bengals get right, I can't take them as a heavy favorite. I think they should win the game. I mean, if they lose to the Panthers, all the alarm bells in Cincinnati have to be going off, but I see them only winning by like 3, like it being like a close nail-biting game because their defense has kind of sucked for Cincinnati. They let teams be in games and haven't been able to get away from them. So I'm going to go Panthers +5. Ugh, that's gross. Vikings, Packers. Packers 2.5-point favorites, despite the fact that Minnesota's looked like one of the better teams in the league. It looks like Jordan Love will be back today. It's confirmed he's going to be active. I don't think they've officially said if that means he's playing or is he just going to be available. I've liked what I've seen from the Packers. Matt LaFleur masterclass so far this season. Matt LaFleur. Vikings, it feels like they do have to come back down to earth at some point in time, despite how well they've played. So I'm going to go Packers -2.5 in that game. Jaguars, Texans, I kind of hit on this just a little bit earlier. Texans got beat down by the Vikings last week. Jaguars, winless, just got demolished by the Bills on Monday Night Football. Texans 5.5-point favorites. A lot of people are liking the Jaguars here, saying it's basically like desperate times, desperate measures. Got to throw everything into the game here and go for it. I just don't think they're good. I mean, every year people get a little high on the Jaguars. They're almost like the new Colts, where people talk themselves into the Jaguars every season. Like everybody's like, yeah, this is a year Trevor Lawrence puts it together. It's like, I kind of think at this point in time we know what Trevor Lawrence is, and he's just not a very good quarterback. And I don't know why you would expect them, after getting demolished by the Bills, to bounce back against a pretty good Texans team in the next week. So that's a big spread. Big spreads have not been good this year. A lot of covers on big spreads. Texans -5.5, but I think the Jaguars, it's one of those, it's going to get worse before it gets better situation. Feels like the wheels might completely come off for Jacksonville. I'm taking Texans -5.5. Jets and Broncos. I like the Broncos here just because every week, whatever the biggest spread has been, the underdog has covered. Like, it's been the Bengals twice, which is crazy for them. But I believe, unless I'm mistaken, let me do a quick scroll here. Okay, the Chargers are also +7.5 against the Chiefs. But yeah, 7.5 Chargers and Chiefs, and 7.5 here for Broncos and Jets are the biggest spreads of the week. Still not completely sold on the Jets. They beat up on a really bad, Patriots team. They struggled against a really bad Titans team. Broncos look like they're starting to get stuff together. Bo Nix probably still has got that Will Levis kind of, I'm going to make a crazy mistake at least once a game thing in him. But do I see the Jets winning this game by more than a touchdown? I don't know. Feels like the Broncos are starting to get some things going. Jets, maybe not all the way there. I definitely think that Sean Payton's a better coach than Robert Saleh. Let's go Broncos +7.5. Steelers, Colts. Steelers, 2.5-point favorites. Probably the biggest test they've had because they haven't played very many good offenses, but then you're also getting, hit or miss Anthony Richardson for the Colts. So it's not like you're all of a sudden come up against a juggernaut. Colts defense is terrible. Steelers should be able to continue to do what they've been doing, which is controlling the games with the running attack and limiting what Justin Fields has to do. A lot of people like the Colts here. It seems like a lot of people that I follow, a lot of the professional gambler prediction people, like the Colts as kind of like, this is their game. This is the test for the Steelers. Tomlin's better when he's the underdog, not the favorite. But the Steelers have looked good. They've quietly been one of the better looking teams all season long. So I'm going to stick with them. Steelers -2.5. Saints and Falcons. Falcons 2.5-point favorites. Saints underdog. It almost feels like a bit of an overcorrection. The Saints dominant weeks 1 through 2, came back down to earth week 3. Falcons up and down season so far. It feels like this kind of people went, okay, the real Saints showed up last week. We're going to knock the Saints back down to where we thought they were all along. But I do kind of think the Saints are still better than people thought they were going to be. I don't know that they're, top teams in the league or anything like that, but I don't know. The Falcons, I don't know that they're all the way there yet. And I think this is a overcorrection from what people saw last week from the Saints. We went, oh yeah, that's the Saints we thought we were going to get. But I do think the Saints are still better than we thought we were. They were. I'm going to go Saints +2.5. Eagles, Bucks. This is a really, 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 really tough game to figure out what to do with because the Eagles, injuries galore, just beat to crap. They've got no receivers. Offensive line is decimated. Bucks are a team I've kind of been riding with a lot over the last 2 seasons. They let me down last week, just completely, they were and I even called that. I said, this is that weird game. It was them and the Broncos. I was like, this is probably the weird game that you don't see coming. And that was it. This one's, Bucks are reeling after that game. Can they bounce back? Eagles look like they're kind of putting stuff together, but the injuries are so bad, so hard to overcome. I'm going to go Bucks because I think there's going to be something in this game. Nick Sirianni, we've seen it every game so far this season. One game it cost them, one game it didn't. So just pattern of flip-flop, snip, snap, snip, snap. This is going to be the game where Nick Sirianni makes some kind of bizarre decision that ends up costing the Eagles the game. Because last week he did some stuff, they overcame it. The week before he did some weird stuff, they lost. Reverse this week, he does some weird stuff, they lose. Bucks +1. Rams, Bears. Bears 3-point favorite. I know like the Rams are just the most injured team in the world right now. But the Bears being a 3-point favorite over anybody is kind of insane to me. I don't really know how you get there with them, especially because the Rams, good win over the 49ers last week. It's not like they're just, they got demolished by the Cardinals 2 weeks ago, but bounced back and beat the 49ers, and now you're going to be 3-point underdogs to the Bears. Is this the game that the Bears really get something going? I don't. That's a weird one. That feels like something. There's always these games that I look at and this feels like a trap. This feels like they want you to take Rams +3. because you're going to look at it and say, oh, the Bears have sucked all season long. Why are they the favorites? So I'm going to do reverse brain on this one just because I've gone against reverse brain a lot of times this season and it's not paid off. So I'm going to go reverse brain. I don't know why the Bears are 3-point favorites. So I'm taking the Bears -3. Patriots 49ers. Oh, this is the biggest spread of week 3. Wow, I just completely overlooked this one. So my theory on Broncos covering because it was the biggest underdog is wrong. Patriots are 10.5-point dogs at San Francisco. Now, I had said before the season I could see San Francisco, having a little bit of Super Bowl hangover, the injuries, Christian McCaffrey, Ayuk coming in late, Debo injured. So it looked like the Super Bowl hangover hit them a little later than I thought they would because they went out and comfortably beat the Jets in week 1 and then have lost to the Vikings, lost to the Rams in the last 2 subsequent weeks. I think I'm going to stick with what I was saying earlier about the big spread, though. The Patriots aren't good. But have the 49ers showed anything that makes you think they're really just going to blow the Patriots out? The 49ers blew out the Jets. The Jets blew out the Patriots. So you're following that train of logic. 49ers should blow out the Patriots. Let's think about this for a second. Biggest underdog each week this season, 3-0 against the spread. This is the biggest underdog. Do we go with that trend just to go with that trend, or do we say, no, there's no Christian McCaffrey. Is Debo back this week? Is Debo coming back? At San Francisco, cross-country trip for the Patriots. I hate it. I don't like it. It feels gross just because of what we've seen all season long, but I got to go 49ers 10.5. I think the Patriots are that bad. Commanders, Cardinals. Cardinals, 3.5-point favorite. Commanders, 3.5-point underdog. They bounce. Commanders look awesome on Monday Night Football against the Bengals. Jaden Daniels looks like the real deal. As somebody holding a Jaden Daniels Offensive Rookie of the Year ticket bet, I'm pretty happy to see how he's been doing, but I think the Cardinals have kind of got something going. I think they're pretty good. I'm going to go Cardinals -3.5 here. Chiefs and Chargers, big spread, -7.5, but the Chargers are just decimated. Another team decimated with injuries. Herbert's probably out. I think their starting tackle, at least one of them, Joe Alt, I think, is out. Receivers are banged up. Harbaugh will do everything he can to make this a disgusting, just, grind out game, just run the ball, try to keep the Chiefs off the field. But I think there are just too many injuries, too much against them in this one. I'm going Chiefs -7.5. And Raiders. Wow. What a disgusting game. Oh my God, that's gross. 2 of the worst teams in the league. Browns are 2.5-point favorites. I don't know. If you ask me which quarterback I trust more, who I'd want to, have as my starting quarterback, I'd go Gardner Minshew over Deshaun Watson. So for that reason, I'm going Raiders +2.5. Bills, Ravens, big spot for the Ravens. If they get this one, they're kind of early season woes, kind of right the ship a little bit, get back on course. Bills have been rolling. 2.5-point favorites are the Ravens. I feel like the Bills are kind of in that mode where I got to roll with them until I see a fault, until I see something to make me pick against them. I got to stick with them. So we're going Bills +2.5. Doubleheader, Monday Night Football. Titans, Dolphins. Dolphins are 2.5-point favorites. I believe at one point in time we had moved to be favorites this game. It feels like that. I could be wrong about that, but I think this one is swung. It's the Snoop Huntley effect for you. You get a Pro Bowl quarterback in, and all of a sudden the Dolphins are 2.5-point favorites. And I'm going with it because similar to like what I said about the Chiefs and the Bills, where I can't pick against them until they gave me a reason to pick against them, I can't pick the Titans until the Titans give me a reason to pick the Titans. Dolphins, 2.5-point favorites. They win this game by 10. Seahawks, Lions, awesome game. Should be a really good matchup on the other side of Monday Night Football. Lions, 3.5-point favorites. I sneaky think the Seahawks are one of the better teams in the league, and I think the Lions are kind of not. It's almost like they have a Super Bowl hangover because they've never been close to getting to the Super Bowl, and as close as they got last year, it was like that was them getting to the Super Bowl. So they kind of have a bit of a Super Bowl hangover, it feels like going. I'm taking Seahawks +3.5. All right. Let's go through the card, and we'll see what my 15-pick parlay comes out to this week. All right, each and every game. Panthers +4.5, Packers -2.5, Texans -5.5, Broncos +7.5, Steelers -2.5, Saints +3, Bucks +1, Bears -3, 49ers -10.5, Cardinals -3.5, Chiefs -7.5, Raiders +2.5, Bills +2.5, Dolphins -2.5, Seahawks +3.5. 15 picks. Parlay is plus 1,713,773 is the plus money odds. So we're putting down $1 to win $17,000. Wish me luck. The bet is locked in. 15 picks, 15-0, $17,000 in my pocket. That's what's happening this week. I'm going to wrap up. Quick chat about Nashville SC. Last night, lost 1-0 to New England Revolution. Pretty much kills their playoff chances. I mean, they're not mathematically eliminated, but I'm pretty sure they'd have to go 3-0 the last 3 games and have a couple other things fall their way in some other matches. So I've talked about this. I was not enthusiastic about this team if they were going to make the playoffs because they're not going to do anything in the playoffs. Too many teams make the playoffs in MLS. It's just ridiculous. Like I said, it would have been nice maybe to get a few more games, like let BJ Callahan get some more time with the team, get some more work in, but ultimately wasn't going to lead to anything or go anywhere. So what was the point? Last night was kind of the same story we've seen with the team under the BJ Callahan area. A lot more aggressive in attack, a lot better. First half in particular, a lot of good chances, a lot of good opportunities, just couldn't finish. And then second half, wheels kind of came off. New England put us under a lot of pressure, and we never could seem to figure out how to adjust. They get a goal. They get a second goal that's called back for a foul. We get a goal that's called back for offsides. I thought both of those were a little bit iffy, and I thought maybe ours was more of a makeup call than anything when they called back our goal. I thought it was more like, we probably shouldn't have called back that New England goal. Let's call back this Nashville one to get things even type of thing. But the only thing, the thing that really stood out to me from the game, and I kind of want to highlight it real quick, is that after the game, Jonathan Perez, a young winger that we have on loan for LA Galaxy, been a good attacking player, a good spark for the team, arguably maybe should even be in consideration for some starts here and there, not in the lineup at all today, not the squad at all last night. And, not saying if he'd been in the team, if he played, we would have won the game or anything like that, but kind of weird. You're struggling to score goals. You have to score goals because you pretty much have to win every single game. So why would you limit your attacking options? This is what BJ Callahan said about it. He said, 100% decision to leave, coach's decision to leave Perez out of the squad wasn't injury related. He said that, where is it? He said Jack Marr, our starting center back, was not 100%. So they wanted an extra center back in the squad just in case, which to me is just bonkers. Because it's like Jack Marr has been in and out of the lineup all season long. But, Lucas McNaughton pretty much displaced him as one of our starting center backs. And then McNaughton got hurt. And then for a while, Josh Bauer had displaced Jack Marr as our starting center back. So it's not like you're worried like your all-world MLS, all-MLS guy with European offers center back is in there. It's mediocre to bad center back. You sacrificed a potential good attacking option, a good attacking weapon to start a mediocre center back who's not 100% and then have to bring in an extra center back, and probably Brett Kallman is probably the guy into the squad. For what reason? Why was that something you felt was important that you actually had to do? That whole thing makes no sense to me. It almost makes me think there's something more to the story, because that explanation makes no sense. Like, you need attacking options. So instead of bringing in attacking options, you start a center back who's not very good and is not 100%. And then because of that, you also have to bring in an extra center back into the squad to have extra cover in case something were to happen with him. That doesn't track with me. Something's off about that. And it's kind of a little bit of a concern too, because, one of the things that we were sold on with BJ Callahan, and like, this is the first time I've seen like a little bit of a weird, like, head scratching thing with him. I've been really happy with everything he's done, everything he said since he's been here. But one of the things that was like highlight point sold to us, by ownership, by Mike Jacobs, was BJ Callahan's track record for developing and bringing through young players. And here we have an example where talented young player that we definitely would like to have into the team gets dropped for a veteran player in Brett Kalman, who, let's be honest, been a good, solid depth piece to have this year. I mean, that's probably maybe even a stretch to say that, but good chance he's not even in MLS this time next year. So why are we bringing that guy into a squad and not the young player we'd like to grow and develop? And like, there's been like some other little things, like Isaiah Jones has just disappeared from the squad. Forrest Ajago's not getting as many chances as he was under like Rumba Montali. Not really seeing any of the other, like we got to see Gaines came up last week, had a really good game, and then dropped right back out this week. Alex Muil continues to start every game for some reason. I don't know. The youth movement, the bringing youth along, developing youth. Then you drop like one of your most promising attacking players to bring Brett Kalman to the squad. It's like something's off here. Something's not tracking here. I don't fully know what it is, but that was a bizarre decision, a weird one from BJ Callahan last night. But yeah, like I said, not much else to say about the team. Been kind of the same story since he came in. Better performances, but not getting the results still. So we'll see. Can't really judge anything until he's had an offseason to really shape the roster and develop up the team and put the squad together that he wants. Randall Leal finally made his return last night. Looked decent. Got a couple shots off. I do think that it is very likely his time in Nashville is done, unless we just can't get him off the books, unless it's just too hard to move his wages off the books. But it's a guy you want to support, a guy you want to back. So seeing him back, seeing him healthy, hopefully it's a sign of things to come, whether it's in Nashville or elsewhere. Hopefully he can start putting a string together of games and start keeping himself on the pitch, keeping himself available, because he's a talented player. I mean, like it's almost like forgotten because he's just been so injured at this point in time, and people are just so frustrated with the fact that he's basically not played for 2 years. But you go back to year 1, year 2 of Nashville SC, he was like neck and neck right there with Hani Mukhtar in terms of who our best players were. So, don't think it'll necessarily be in Nashville, because I feel like they're going to probably want to get his wages off the books to be able to redirect that to other areas of need. But, hoping for the best from him, hoping he can, get past this just nightmare injury stretch he's had and, come out good on the other side of it and hopefully be better for it. But that's it. That's all I wanted to say about Nashville SC. It's kind of same mold as the Titans right now. It's just don't much to say about them. The less said, the better, you might say. All right, that's it for this one. We're going to wrap up. Thanks for tuning in as always. I may do like a live watch along for the Titans-Dolphins game, as miserable as that sounds. I don't know. I don't know what my plan is. I don't know if we're going to go somewhere to watch the game. I don't know if we're going to watch it at home, but subscribe to the channel, turn the bell on for notifications. So if I do pop on and do a quick live stream to watch the game, you'll get notified and you can jump in and be a part of that. So thanks for watching. As always, enjoy your life, enjoy your bagels.